Once, there was a young thief, busy stealing people's wealth. One day, a thought crossed his mind. How far will I go with this petty stealing? Every now and then I mug somebody. Every now and then I steal something. Why not instead? Something clicked in his head. Why not instead I travel to the king's palace and steal from him? With that kind of money, I can become extremely rich and lead a decent, wealthy life. In the night, to accomplish his plan, he started his journey towards the king's palace. Upon reaching, in the darkness of the night, he sneaked into the palace and he found himself in the grand bedroom of the king. On hearing the sound of footsteps, he hid himself behind the long draped curtains. While hiding, he saw it was the king and queen walking to retire in their room. He overheard their conversation. "Your Majesty," the queen said, "have you ever thought about our daughter?" "What about her?" the king asked. The queen replied, "Don't you think that we need to find a prince for our princess?" The king replied that, "My dear, you are absolutely right. By the grace of Allah, we have everything except the heir and the next king to our kingdom. Hence, we should find a pious and humble Muslim youth from our kingdom, someone who will keep our daughter very happy, be the next king, and continue the hard work of taking good care of the public, of the people." Now the queen, nodding her head in approval with the king, said, "Then let us find this pious young Muslim man." The king suggested, "Tomorrow I will ask my nearest wazir, my minister, to find the most competent pious youth in our kingdom. Just make sure you do not reveal this plan to anybody." Now the thief, hearing this conversation, thought, "If I steal tonight from the king's palace, what will I get? Maybe a small portion of wealth. Instead, if I could manage to play the crucial part of the pious youth, I act it out. I act as a pious Muslim youth, then His Majesty, who is looking for, I can become that person, and I may end up marrying the charming princess, and I may even become the next king." So without stealing, he quietly sneaked out of the palace to accomplish his new plan. He went straight to the nearby masjid and started his act of a pious young Muslim. Sure enough, it worked. Within a few days, the town started to talk about this youth dedicated to Islam. People started to come from far and wide to listen to his eloquent speeches on the important tenets of Islam. Then one day, the minister sent his men to invite him to meet the king. The pious young soul declined the king's invitation, saying that he was too busy discharging his duties assigned to him by Almighty Allah. Now, hearing this, the king was further impressed. He said to his minister, "He is a true Muslim and the future prince we have been looking for. Let us go and visit him." Seeing the king, now the king, he was amazed that he's not even coming to earth. Now the king got his entourage together, and along with his ministers, he went to the doorstep of this particular masjid. And when this young man, he seen the king along with his entourage at his doorstep, a transformation came inside his heart. Tears rolled down the thief's cheek with so much gratitude in his heart. He said to himself, "Just by acting as a pious Muslim, Allah has brought the mighty king to my doorstep. I wonder what would be the reward if I were truly to turn to Allah Azza wa Jal with a sincere, repenting heart and become a true Muslim." Now his heart had gone through a true transformation, and becoming the next king and marrying the princess had lost all its priorities. He apologized to the king and he declined his offer, saying, "Now that I have found the true, real king of the universe, who has brought you to my footsteps, my rewards from now on will sincerely be for him." My dear brothers in Islam, this is what happens when an individual turns to Allah Azza wa Jal with a sincere, repenting heart. Isn't it time we turn to Allah Azza wa Jal? My dear brothers in Islam, just look at our lives. Which way are we going? Which way are we heading? Have we ever forgot and thought for a moment, why did Allah Azza wa Jal create us? Why did Allah Azza wa Jal send us to this world? With our own hands we bury the deceased. With our own hands we bury them under a heap of soil. We perform their namaz-e-janaza. We perform the ghusl on them. We bury them ourselves. We go and show our face at the graveyard. We throw heaps of soil on the dead body as well. The moment we come back, we miss the next salah. This is the state of our ignorance. This is the state of the love of the world which has engulfed us. This is the state of the darkness which has surrounded our hearts that we can't see any light anymore. Wherever we look, we have ghafla, we have negligence. But my dear brothers in Islam, this world is a two-day affair. We are here today, we will be gone tomorrow. Many powerful people came before us. Many came before us and they are gone. And they have left us with this message that we came into this world. Our name echoed the corners of the globe. Our name echoed around the area which I lived in. And now he is lying under a heap of soil.